Yes, this is Siri exposing once again. We are by the riverside. You don't know. Siri exposing live once again. You don't know how it is already. I mean, we have the world covered, you know. We have England covered, the America covered, we have St. Thomas covered, we have everywhere covered. Siri exposing the love device is local. We talk about it, we show it, and they cannot say nothing. We're just freezing them. Yeah, we're just freezing them. They can't say nothing because this is the reality and they can't go around it. All they have to do is just watch and just say, yeah. So the last video was the gas station. Yeah, we have the update is that they will bring in the gas. They give them a time frame. They give them a time so that they could pass on the road. They could open the road for them, but they did not respect the time. It was 7 o'clock and they came up 1 o'clock. So we could not get the gas delivered. So they have to reschedule the time again. Yes, that is for the gas. That is the update on the gas. Alright, you right? Now, we have a speech of the UN from the President of Dominica, which I 100% against. Because that speech there is a speech pro-Communist Party of China, pro-Cuba, pro-Venezuela, pro-Russia, pro-North Korea. And I've spoke to a lot of people and their views, they are against the President of Dominica. So I must make it clear that when they give that type and kind of speech on behalf of Dominica, I, Siri, not in it. I want to make it clear to Madam President. I hope you will send this video to you. I want to make it clear to scare it. I hope they will send this video to you. When are you giving that type of speech in the UN is not on my behalf and is not on the majority of the people of Dominica behalf. Okay? You just want to make it clear. I just want to make the world understand what is happening. Okay? It's not on my behalf. It's not on the majority of the people of Dominica behalf. Okay? If you listen to the speech, you will understand. The speech is totally fighting against another side, standing technically with another side, and I'm standing with every single country based on the reason. So don't align me with that speech or anybody or any country to condemn me for that UN speech pro the Communist Party of China, pro Russia, pro Venezuela, pro North Korea. I say nothing that. I reject this speech. Let's listen.
Hello everyone. Welcome to Think for Yourself. Recently I saw a video of the president of Dominica, the illegal president of Dominica, named Sylvanie Burton. She's at the UN to give a speech. And I must let you understand that that speech that was given by Sylvanie Burton, it is not Sylvanie Burton's speech. And it is not the interest of the majority of Dominicans. It is a speech prepared by Roosevelt Skerrit and given to Sylvanie Burton to take to the UN. And I listened to the details of the speech. And there are certain things I want to look into. At some point, she mentioned that the poverty that is in Venezuela, because her speech is mainly targeting the US and what the US is doing in the international waters near Venezuela and their fight against drug cartels and all this. And for the years, you know that the Prime Minister of Dominica, Roosevelt Skerrit, has joined with the Chavismo government of Venezuela to fight against the US and other nations. Now Chavez have gone, and there is this man they call Maduro, the president down there. And so Sylvani Burton is letting the world know that certain levels of poverty in Venezuela, it's like it's the US caused it. But she's not addressing the fact that Maduro-style government is a reckless government that brought poverty on the people of Venezuela. It was systematically set up to control and rule the people of Venezuela, impoverish them. Started under Chavez. That's why even the oil company fell. You see? Even Venezuela debt to China passed $60 billion. What did they do with that money? I remember. You see, the Roosevelt-Skerrit administration, Roosevelt-Skerrit himself, they cannot go to the UN and condemn Venezuela because this is the same government that gives handouts to these governments in the Caribbean. And even sometimes back, after Maria, the government of Venezuela did forgive a debt of $100 million to Dominica. Right? And we asked the question, where did that $100 million go to? Until this day, no answer. So she's talking about war and the Caribbean don't want the war in the Caribbean going to affect people. But what she's not talking about, how Dominica leadership is affecting Dominicans with poverty in Dominica. Everything she says and she stand up against is actually affecting Dominicans in Dominica. But she's there trying to condemn the US and others for taking a stand against Venezuela. She's not telling Venezuela, we don't need drugs. She's not also telling Venezuela, and none of them that is speaking in the Caribbean, haven't said anything to Venezuela concerning a plan to attack Guyana down there for Guyana own property. But they want to sanction, they want to condemn everybody else that come up against Venezuela. What is in that to gain? You see, as I said before, when you are purchased with handouts, you will malfunction. You will take a side that in right conscience you're not supposed to take. Here you have this Sylvani Burton going to the UN and speaking these things, making herself look embarrassing because they already know these things are not from her. She just came here to read, but they know where it's coming from. You see? And Roosevelt-Skerrit himself cannot go and do it himself because, hey, you know the Americans watching him. Not only the Americans, but the other countries. And he also have his back is against the wall. He cannot go to the UN and condemn anything that Venezuela is doing. And he would not like to go to the UN and try to condemn America because they're watching him. So he's between a rock and a hard place. And this is where this man have Dominica. But what they're doing is not in the best interest of Dominica and Dominicans. I personally do not support Sylvani Burton, do not represent me personally. Right? She's an illegal president, came in there illegally, and here you go. I listened to the Prime Minister of Trinidad. I support this woman in her speech. She has a firm stand firm stance, and she stands for what is right. But I am saying to Dominicans, you all better gear up, because the position that Roosevelt's carried and these other people around him has placed Dominica is not the trees and the water he put in that position. It is you he put in that compromising position. It is you that going to suffer, because he already filled his coffers. He is already rich. He have what he needs. He can get to where he wants when he wants, because he got Dominica resources. You that are depending on him for a handout, according to Buju Banton, who cannot run will have to stay, and those who can run will run. So I'm warning you all, take heed. These things are getting worse on a daily basis. The actions of Roosevelt Skerrit is getting worse on a daily basis and putting you Dominicans in a compromising position. You understand? So Sylvanie Burton has embarrassed herself and caused Dominica to look ugly on the international stage, right? As a president of the state. Now, what they need to do to Sylvanie Burton is to ask her if she have any knowledge of the MOU that Dominica did sign with China when Dominica was taking up diplomatic relationship with China. As a president and head of state, I can tell you today that she have no knowledge what was signed, but you are the president of the state, the head of state, they call it. You see? So many things. She don't even have the knowledge of what was signed with Venezuela in the past. She cannot tell you that. You see, because it is not shared with her, but she's head of state. You see? So all these things you got to put into consideration, right? These people are running this country down to a road to a place where there is a no return. You understand? On the other hand, I don't even understand why every time these women have to show up at the UN or certain international business, that there is a dress code of cultural colors of Dominica. All these women, whether it be Lauren Bannis, whether it be Francine Barron, whether it be Sylvanie Burton, why? Just dress the way you want to dress. They are not dressing the way they want to dress. This is Roosevelt Skerrit dress code that he command them to put on them. Look at Sylvanie Burton. I don't even know where she's going with all that tarpaulin on her. Anyway, I am saying you all got to think for yourself with what is going on right now. You understand what I'm saying? And I call on Maduro to stop these cartel movements. And Guyana oil belongs to Guyana. Stop trying to invade Guyana for what belongs to them. Okay? I say, take care of yourself. Think for yourself. All right.